Cam, I don't really understand what the big deal is. Why is this charger so special and worth talking about? Priority for trailers, please use last. So as you guys already know, it goes without saying, if you pull up here, definitely don't plug into this guy unless you have a trailer. Y'all, these flowers are really, really beautiful, but it seems that people are coming and cutting them and they're blaming the Tesla drivers. So if you're a Tesla driver and you come over here and explore, do not cut their flowers. Here we are at the Pioneer Villa Truck Plaza in Halsey, Oregon. And before we jump into kind of a deep dive of the new Tesla Supercharger, I actually want to revisit this West Coast electric highway charging system because I attempted to charge here about a year ago and was unsuccessful. And I believe that they may have updated one of their charging units, but why would you plug into this charger at 59 cents per kilowatt hour and a flat fee of 99 cents whenever you could charge at the Tesla Supercharger for 53 cents per kilowatt hour on non-Tesla vehicles? Maybe if you needed the Chatamo, then you would charge here, but that's kind of the only use case that I can see. We are plugged in, have a blue light here, and I heard things clicking and it said that it was connected. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit my card. Nice. All right, cool. So I guess that maybe it actually works this time. It says processing, card accepted, ready, payment accepted. And again, this one is what, 175? Yeah, this one's a 175 unit. So let's see if it will actually charge. Communicating. Okay, there it is. Dude, we can finally charge here. This is great. I'm so glad to hear it. And where are we at here? I like this. Honestly, this is pretty cool that you can see all of the information, how many amps, how many volts, how much has been added to the battery, how much your cost is so far, so that dollar flat fee, and it even says your car's state of charge. This is great, charging at 72 kilowatts, again 53%, so the battery, I didn't precondition or anything, I just plugged in to test it out for you guys, but I'm really glad that they were able to fix this. I wonder if my video had anything to do with it. If you're interested, go ahead and check out that video here, but for what it's worth, we are charging on the EVCS Tritium 175 kilowatt max unit here in Halsey, Oregon, but we're actually here to check out these Tesla Superchargers. So one of the big draws to this area, I assume, is the travel lodge and the restaurant inside. I have not been inside the Pioneer Saloon, so I cannot tell you guys just how great their steaks actually are, but I encourage you to come and try it out for yourself. I'm not gonna jump into charging my car. I'm here at like 70% state of charge or so, so I don't really need to charge. Home is just up the road in Albany, but I wanted to go through and show you guys what you can expect in this area. It is busy. It is super duper busy, but there's a nice Chevron little convenience store station, and there is a big rig fueling station and a big rig, I don't know, maybe sleeper rests area in the back. There's also an ICE car fueling station around the corner, which we'll go see in just a moment. But I wanted to talk also about the road conditions and just how easy or not easy it is to maneuver in this area. And this is actually a prime example of what you will often see in this area is people pulled over with their campers, either fueling up or maybe taking a rest from a long bit of driving. And it's not that easy to see around whenever you've got people parked like this. This area used to be all open. Now that the Teslas are here, I'm concerned that there may be some traffic jams and potentially some crashes if people aren't careful. So just something to be mindful and aware of. There are about 8 fueling stations here on the gas side of things. Getting off the interstate is not very easy, and as you can tell, pretty much normal Oregon roads, not very well taken care of. But if you're coming from the north and you're turning left, this hill here is very, very difficult to see whenever you're a car attempting to turn lefts from the north. If you're coming from the south this way, not a big deal, but if you're coming from the north, turning into or onto this road is not very easy. I believe this is the 215, by the way. And if you're interested in knowing, gas is currently $4.39 on Memorial Day 2025. So this is one of those things that can happen whenever people don't know exactly where to turn in or turn out. It's definitely going to cause a crash. It's unfortunate this person just did a U-turn right in the entryway here. But the weirdest thing about this place is that there are two entrances and exits, and they are not clearly marked at all. I believe that what the expectation is that trucks want to come in and go through the backside to get to the fueling area, but I can't really tell because it seems like the trucks are using what I would assume is the front entrance and cars are using the rear entrance. And better be careful, because that will swallow your car if you're not paying attention as you're attempting to leave once you've filled up with your normal gas or with your electrons. So I just walked inside the convenience store, nothing special. I believe that they're open 24 hours. I will verify momentarily, but I just heard somebody on the phone saying that there were people cutting flowers and they were blaming the Tesla chargers as the impetus for the people cutting flowers. I assume that they're cutting flowers over there, but I'm not 100% sure. So if you're coming here, yes, okay, I see the flowers now. If you're coming here, don't cut their flowers. Let's talk about these chargers. 41 cents per kilowatt hour if you're a Tesla owner, and 53 cents per kilowatt hour if you're a non-Tesla charging here. There is an accessible use last EV charger over here on the side, which is very nice. I believe that there are 16 chargers in total, so there are 4 off to the side here. We've got one EV parking spot over here that is definitely a pull-through. Priority for trailers, please use last. So as you guys already know, it goes without saying, if you pull up here, definitely don't plug into this guy unless you have a trailer. But I just noticed over here that this Rivian driver is actually quite creative and decided that there were actually 2 pull-through stations that they would be able to use. And I guess that honestly, if you really wanted to, you could block a couple that way too. So there are a couple pull-through stations, if you will. So there are a couple of neat things that I wanted to mention over here. We've got, what is it here? 4, 5. So we've got 11 units here that are back to back. Really nice installation. We've got a blue and a black trash bin, which I don't see any like recyclable labels on this. So I assume that they are both just trash and that the one is painted blue to make you feel better. The other cool thing is this Aruba WAP here, which does indeed give you Wi-Fi. I'll show you in the next clip. But in case you guys are wondering, here is some of the information about the cabinets. They are V3 cabinets as you would expect because we haven't got the V4 cabinets out just yet. And all of the rest of the fun information is here. Everything that you would expect to see, nothing new. This is the same as all of the other V3 cabinets that I've seen without any real differences. Output power 250 kilowatts, but if you're on a Cybertruck, you can get 325 kilowatt peak for just a quick minute from what I hear. I don't have a Cybertruck, but from what I've seen on the internet. So does it say when this one was created? Date of manufacture, July 2024. Sorry, it took me a second to find that. But nothing new and exciting here as far as the cabinets go. I'm actually more excited that that guy works than anything else. Because even though it's $1 to charge, like dollar flat fee and 59 cents per kilowatt hour, it has the CHAdeMO plug, which is really, really important if you have a vehicle that DC fast charges with a CHAdeMO plug. Cam, I don't really understand what the big deal is. Why is this charger so special and worth talking about? Well, it's worth mentioning that there are 16 EV chargers here, superchargers, that can charge both Tesla-enabled and CCS vehicles. But the real thing that's interesting is that there's another supercharger about 10 miles down the road here at, what is it, Junction City? No, Harrisburg. Here at the Harrisburg interchange on I-5. So we are currently in between Halsey and Brownsville, all just off of I-5. Like I was saying, if you're coming from the north, be really, really careful whenever you're at this interchange because you can't see over the hill at all. And getting in here is super weird because there are two entrances and exits. But this supercharger is really important. One, because there isn't another supercharger between the Harrisburg supercharger and Salem. And that's just outside of Eugene. For those of you who are familiar with the area, there isn't anything else between Harrisburg and Salem. There definitely should, in my opinion, be something in Corvallis, because Corvallis is a nice throughway to the went to Eugene there, didn't mean to go to Eugene, but there should be something in Corvallis because Corvallis is one of the big stopping points, or a bigger city in between I-5 and the coast, that I think would be a really good area to have a supercharger now that there's one here. But the reason that this one is so important is because if you're heading up to Bend, this is another supercharger that you can hit before getting to Sisters and then getting to Bend. Or if you're going down to Crater Lake, you might be able to hit this one and then drive for quite some time until you get to the Chimalt supercharger, which is just outside of Crater Lake. I do plan on going to Crater Lake pretty soon and checking out this supercharger, so stay tuned. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you guys want to see some content from that new supercharger. All right, one last thing that I almost forgot to mention that I wanted to make sure that I mentioned is that there is Tesla Wi-Fi here. So if you come and you've got like a software update or something to that effect, or you just need to get some Wi-Fi, you can definitely hop on the Tesla Wi-Fi here and get some nice Wi-Fi, which in my opinion is super useful. I think that it's pretty standard at superchargers, but just in case you weren't aware, there is Tesla Wi-Fi. Since I'm here, I figured, you know what, I might as well take the opportunity and at least try to charge on this one too and see if maybe they've updated things, if it's a little bit easier. So again, activation fee 99 cents. And then I think that this was 39 cents per kilowatt hour. So let me just grab my card and see. Wow, okay, cool. So that started. Seems like things are moving in the right direction, much easier than the last time I was here. Maybe, maybe not. Or is it this one? Oh, that makes sense. Duh, Cam. That one's for that one. This one's for this one. Okay, so let's see. It says preparing there. So I don't see any blue flickering yet. Preparing. We're still preparing. Well, while that's preparing, I do want to talk real quick about the bollards that are here. They're actually really nice plastic bollards. And if you lift them up, you can see that there's a metal pole there. So they're all over the place. There's those nice yellow ones around the transformers, and then those gray ones are around the actual dispensers themselves. But let's see if this one's still preparing. And I mean, we're plugged in, no communicating is happening. I don't know how to get this to not be preparing. And as I showed earlier, I'm really not thrilled with the way that this guy looks. I mean, that just doesn't seem like something that I would want to plug into. Okay, we're going to say this was a failed try because it's still preparing and nothing is happening. So let's try and plug into this guy. I think that this one was 52 kilowatts is the max on this one. 48 kilowatts. Okay, so we'll try and plug in there and see if we can get the 48 kilowatts. But I'm going to say that this level 2 is just stuck on preparing, still not working. All right, so whenever I went into the app, it said that it was still waiting for this guy to do something, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on. It says available up here. Maybe I'm just not sure how to get it started. I don't think that I should have to download the app. I should just be able to tap and pay, right? That's what we think. Okay, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and plug in here. As you see, we've got the blue light indicating that things are looking good, much better than whenever we were in Halsey earlier. If I didn't already show that clip in Halsey proper, I'm going to go ahead and insert that now. Here we are, like I said, Halsey City Hall and Community Center, and as you can see, there is definitely a fancy EV charger somewhere. So I drove through, found that the EV charger was over this way, and as you can see, I am right over there. So let's go check out these EV chargers and see what the hype is all about. As we pulled up to the EV charging, really nice signage stating that, hey, you know, there's 4-hour limit, pretty cool. Although there are 4 EV charging spots and only 2 EV chargers, kind of interesting, because I guess that it would imply that maybe you could park here and your friend would be able to plug you in, but it seems that you actually have to go through quite a few hoops to get plugged in and start charging, etc., etc. So here's all the information about that. But as we roll over to these chargers, there aren't any signs of life. Again, these are the SEMA Connect chargers. Looks like their manufacture date was April 2021. So even though I don't see any signs of life, and it looks like maybe I could just tap my card, let's see if we can plug in and get a charge. We've got the J plug adapter installed because, as we know, they are all J plugs. And that's what happens whenever I plug in. Absolutely nothing. Nothing flashes on the screen to tell me that, hey, you know, we're connecting, initiating. I didn't hear any contactors click. Nothing. So this site is completely offline, and I don't really think that anybody cares because we're in the middle of Halsey, and why would anyone plug in their car for 4 hours, let alone 20 minutes, to charge here? I just don't, I don't think that this was very well thought out. Anyways, back to the rest of the video. From here, now that we've been to Halsey, I'm going to go ahead and see if we can start charging on this guy. Okay, that sounded good, which was better than I remember last time. Lots of beeping. We like beeping. Start. SMS app. So it really wants me to go through and do something with the app. I can't just pay and go. If I can't just walk up and pay, that's really, really dumb. That's really dumb. Well, I'm going to say that that didn't work because it seems to want me to have to download the app. But this one worked without an issue. I'm going to try it again. Give me 1 second. All right, I had to fully reset it by plugging it in here, which I guess moving the door would have been the thing that would have fixed that issue, but let's try it one more time. Come on. Okay, beep, good. And then, all right, it shows the card here, so let me just try the card one more time. Okay. I can't tell what it says, but I want it to start. I want it to do something, and it's just, I don't know. Oh, do I have to maybe try like this? Let's see. Maybe it just wanted, That doesn't seem happy either. All right, I'm going to say that I am still unable to charge on this guy. I can't remember if this was here last time. I don't know if it was. Maybe that's, yeah, maybe that's what happened is maybe they installed this guy because this guy isn't working optimally. I don't know. It's so weird that I can't get it to charge, and it seems like it would be good to go. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm not downloading the app to give it a try. I should just be able to tap like I did on that one.